Good morning and happy Friday. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chump Changes, live and recorded. For those of you that might be new in the space or to this place, I typically go over crypto news, update myself, bring you guys along for the ride. Let's see who's in the chat. And I apologize, my Streamlabs went to the yesterday's stream and just duplicated it for some reason, so that's why I was late. I was like, wait a minute, I'm not live, what the hell's going on? And that would be why. Anyways, let's see who's here. Mr. DJ Mines giving me shit as always. Appreciate you, buddy. We have Leo Lustig in the chat. Claude, good to see you, man. Panera Cars, Andrew Masad, Chris Hanley, Backwards Miner, Dan R. Actually, Dan R, I updated my crypto thing for you, by the way. Paid for that yesterday like you asked. We have Mr. DJ Death Star, Lawnmower Man, good to see you. We have Pocket Change, good morning. Nerd Beast, good morning, good to see you. Leo Lustig, amazing shirt. I actually put it over a hoodie this morning, but look at this shirt. Leo Lustig sent me this. Pretty dope, actually looks great. All right, let's get into the market, see what we're looking like today. You guys can see Bitcoin 64,551, not too bad. We have Ethereum at 3419. Everything is looking pretty good. Solana taking a little bit of a dip, almost 10%. We're down 9.08% as of right now, 173 bucks. Looks like Caspa is at 15 cents again. It did dip down to 11. Not sure if you guys bought any, but I did when it did. We have XRP at 61 cents. We have LTC at 83 bucks. At least it's coming back. We have the meme coins. Looks like they're kind of just floating along. A little bit of a loss for Pepe and Floki, but nonetheless, they're pretty much holding up for the most part, which is kind of impressive. Render still over $10.88. Crazy. Ton $4.40. We have BNB at 569 bucks. That's crazy. I didn't think that was going to be that high, to be honest. Buy that dip on Solana. Mr. Dan R, you know what? Hadouken to you. I was thinking that this morning too. I almost jumped into it. The Travelers Travels, good morning, sir. All right, let's get into this. Looking at crypto bubbles. Biggest earner on the day seems to be Phantom, 13.6% up on the day, ranked 40 at $1.19. Nothing else really jumps out at you, but there's a whole bunch of things that are kind of down. We have Bit and Soar right here, 8.9% down. 32 is the rank, 586 bucks. We have the Pyth Network down 7.5% today, 90 cents. Jupiter's down 8.4% at $1.20. X is down 9.8% at 1 cent. Solana again down 8.9%. We have Dog Whiff Hat down 7%. We have Caspa's up 3.7%. Dogecoin's up 2.5%. Toncoin again down up 4.4%. Not too bad. Pepe again down a little bit, ranked 42, dropped a couple ranks, but nonetheless, I mean, I'm still shocked at how high the meme coins are actually holding up. These are all in the top 100. All these coins that we're looking at right here, all these bubbles. So Bonk is still there. It's down 5.3 today. Floki's down 5.3 today. But again, Solana meme coins in the top 100. There's a decent amount of them. We have Shiba, which is in ERC20 meme coin, still ranked 11th. That's freaking nuts. Absolutely nuts. Let's see. New meme coin this week. Bohm. Man, they just come up with stupider and stupider names, huh? Jim C, good morning. Nice video yesterday. Cool to see where my miners are, dude. Did anybody else see that video? Yeah, what'd you guys think of it? My first like vlog trip. It was pretty sick. I thought I had fun. It was a good video. I didn't know if I was actually going to drop a video until I put all the clips together. I was like, all right, this came out pretty good. All right, let's check it out. Flash bang over here. Fear and greed index. We're at 75 in the greed, not extreme greed anymore, just normal greed. So right now we're kind of at that point where I'm still looking to buy coins, just because once we get over that 75, it's really like unknown territory, even though we've seen it go, you know, into the 90s easily. It's just one of those things. Again, be fearful when people are greedy and be greedy when people are fearful. That's Warren Buffett's famous saying. Try to live by it if you can. If you can't, oh well, is what it is. You gotta fight your emotions on it though. I know it's hard. All right, top 10 coins over here. Coin market cap over on CoinGecko, or buy coin market cap rather. We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, Solana, XRP, Lotto staked Ether, USDC, Dogecoin, and Cardano in 10th place. Look at that. Dogecoin's in 9th place. Jumped up a peg. Look at that. $22.4 billion market cap. Cardano ADA is in has 21.9 billion. It's at 62 cents. You know what? I think I might buy some of this. I might buy some of this. I think this is a good buy. Let's see, all-time highs at $3.09 2 years ago, September 2021. That was in the last bull run. Again, altcoin season hasn't even kicked off yet. It's down 80%. This might be a good buy. This is a pullback for Cardano. I don't have any. I've never had any Cardano, to be honest. And I'm not like, there's no reason I'm not into it. I just never been a fan. But again, no reason to, you know, rhyme a reason as to why. But I think this is a good buy. It's down a little bit today. Why not? Why not? It's a good chance to pop up. I mean, it's hard to see. It's hard to gain a lot of money when it comes to the top 10 coins by coin market cap. But I think Cardano has a good chance to at least double, if not quadruple. You know, that's just my opinion. Anyways, all right, let's see. Avalanche down at 11th. We have Shiba again still in 12th, according to CoinGecko. That is, it's $15.9 billion market cap. I still can't believe it has that big of a friggin' market cap. That just blows my mind. Let's see, Bitcoin Cash. Oh, actually, we opened up something yesterday. It was like a news article from Coinbase stating that they're going to be launching futures trading for Bitcoin Cash, I think Dogecoin, and something else. Was it Litecoin? I can't remember. Sorry for my yeah, I totally forget. But it's Bitcoin Cash is one of the futures they're going to be launching for trading, so that's going to be kind of neat. See what happens with that coin. Litecoin in 23rd, again $82.88. We have ETC. I have high hopes for Ethereum Classic, especially with the ETF coming for Ethereum. Again, dumb money's gonna come in, gonna see the name, why is this one so much cheaper, and buy it. I know for a fact that's what I did when I first got into the space, so it is what it is. I guess we're gonna have to see. But ranked 30th, just under $30. We're at $29.69. HBAR, I bought some of this the other day and I think it was around 10 cents. I'm not sure exactly what it was at, but I feel like this is a decent buy as well. I don't know where this coin's gonna go, but the all-time high was 56 cents. It's down 81%. So you know what, I took a little risk on this one. I only put $100 in, not too much, but I think I'm gonna buy some more, like progressively as the days go on, and just see where it goes. And I actually swapped it directly through Tangem. I just swapped my USDT in the Tangem wallet, and it was in my Hedera wallet in like literally minutes. So shout out to Tangem. Code CCXD if you guys are interested. Not trying to shill, I literally do use it every single day. Pepe right here again in 43rd place. Caspa in 40th. We have again 15 cents. We did have a pullback on Caspa the last couple days, actually last couple weeks, right? Let's see, let's go to the month. We've had a bit of a downtrend since we hit the peak around 18 or 19 cents almost, right? It was like 18 something. Went down to 11 cents the other day, and I know a lot of people were getting shaken out, but I bought literally right here. I swapped it in this morning before I went live, and boom. It's nice. It's nice to see swapping some money in and it actually pays off pretty much immediately. Again, you got to separate your emotions. It's the hardest thing to do. All right, let's move on to the mining segment of things. Check out the mine the ASIC top profitable miners of the day. We have the KS5 21 terahash unit making $173 a day. Hell yeah. Perfect. We have the KS5 20 terahash unit making $164 a day. The BMKS Max 11 terahash unit making $82.18. The Windminer K9 10.3 terahashes. The only one I've ever heard of being received was DOA. If anybody has one, please let me know, because I would love to see like this thing in action. $80 and 70 cents a day. We have the KS3 from Ice River down here, 8 terahash unit making $61.15. We have the KS3M 6 terahash unit at $43.46. The X16P over here, 5.8 gigahash unit mining ETC and ZIL. This is a dual mining unit. I mean, you can dual mine on it, but mainly an ETC miner, right? You guys are making $22.75 a day. If this thing was a bit cheaper in price, like they wanted like 9K for it, this thing needs to be like 4K, right? If it was like 4,000 bucks, oh, right here, there's a price right here, actually, best price, $93.15. If this thing was like 4K, then maybe it would be a buy, but or 4,500. I can't see paying more than that for it unless the price right here was much higher per day. Again, this is all after 10 cents per kilowatt hour. And if you guys are interested, go check out that video I dropped yesterday at Terra Hosting. That's what they charge for ASICs. It's 10 cents kilowatt hour. And all I gotta say is damn, because that video I think came out pretty good, and their facilities blew me away. I was totally stunned when I went out there, to be honest. I went out there for work to give them a hand and build some hot cold aisles. We have the Superscaler K10 over here, 45 gigahashes, making $14.36 Carlson a day, $18.90. Carlson was like a penny or something. Actually, you know what, real quick, let's jump over and just see how's Carlson doing. This is an FPGA if I'm not mistaken, the super scaler. All right, we have almost 2 pennies, almost 2 cents. Terrible. All right, Pyron. I've actually been mining this on my GPUs and swapping it over on a mile. Well, I'm mining Pyron hash over to unminable, swapping it for Caspa on my entire farm, including my Jazz miners. Everything's going to Caspa because I'm trying to get a certain amount of it, and then I'm going to swap off on, go on to something else. I think I'm going to start a solo mining test on my X4 1Us and X4Q and X16Q, but 22 cents for Pyron's doing pretty good actually. Last 7 days had a rip, went from 7 cents and it ripped up. It's sitting over 20. Look at this, it ripped up to 27 cents. Holy shit, that's crazy. That is crazy, but that's absolutely most profitable for your GPUs as of right now, at least what I found anyways. Let's see, we can go over there and check in a second. Jazz miner X16Q, ETC and ZIL, $7.70 a day. These things are actually mining ETC hash over to Caspa on unminable. We have the Ice River KS1 looking like it's making $7.14 a day. The KS2 is making $14.33 a day, and the Ice River KS0 Pro, wherever you are, 200 gigahash unit, making $1.48 a day. Again, after 10 cents per kilowatt hour, I'm making about $1.25 or so, maybe a little bit more on my units. I got 8 of them right there, and an OG that's only making like 60 cents or something, 70 cents a day. Because again, at 10 cents kilowatt hour, I'm paying like 30. So yeah, I'm probably making like half $1 a day. But you know what? Still, for 100 or 65 watts, or the mine pulls like 60. For that wattage, it's like, these things are a no-brainer for me. Get a bunch of them, make a KS1, and it's more efficient. That's just my opinion. All right, let's move on to GPUs over here on hashrate.no. See what the most profitable one is. What is this? New coin today. Gram. What is Gram? Gram and HTN and Xano for some of the cards. Oh well, now we gotta find out what the hell Gram is. What the hell is Gram? I feel like I've seen that logo though. Is it a new coin? Is it a new coin or is it not a new coin? That is the question. All right, I don't see it over here on hashrate. Sorry, on miningpoolstats.stream. These are where you can find new mineable coins. Let's check it out. Gram is on Toncoin. What? Oh, Gram is on Toncoin. Gram/Ton. Oh, that's why I've seen the logo. Mr. Geek of all trades, my man. Great video on Terry yesterday, chump. Can't wait to check the place out myself. Mr. Geek of all trades, thank you very much for being a member for 19 months, dude. That's crazy. You're awesome. This right here, yeah, I don't know what that means. What is Gram on Ton? What's that mean? What's that mean? So it's not Ton? I don't understand it. Is it oh god, is it mining Ton coin? Like what I don't understand. Is it still mining Ton, or is it a different coin in general? Been mining it all night. No, it's built on Ton coin. Okay, because I knew I thought Ton coin wasn't mineable anymore, so that's probably why. But that's weird. All right, I don't know. Maybe I'll look into it today. Weird. Anyways, if you guys are interested, there you go. There's the most profitable coins of the day. Gram and this Hooten. Is that the new coin? This right, Husat, whatever the fuck it's called. Husat, is that what it is? Pyron hash, another fork of Caspa is what it is. All right, guys, we have Mr. DJ Death Star in the house with a $5 super chat, asking you about it the other day. Is it on the Ton network? Works the same. Oh, it is on the Ton network. Works the same. Mining it until it's gone, then can be staked. Ooh, interesting. Maybe that's a good snag then. I'll have to check that out. Interesting. Oh, actually, by the way, shout out to Yusuf. Thank you very much for sending me some Caspa the other day. You're awesome. Appreciate it, by the way. He wanted to donate to me directly, so he just messaged me in Discord. I sent him a address. I told him not to send a lot, so I appreciate anything you sent. Thank you very much. You're awesome. I just wanted to announce that because I know you didn't get the alert or anything. Anyways, we have the Bitcoin halving, guys. If you didn't know, it is almost here. It's 28 days away, 29 days away, round 30, right? We have literally under a month before we're going to see shit hit the fan. It's going to be crazy for the first couple weeks, if I had to guess. We might have a lot of uncertainty, but man, this supply shock, if you guys seriously don't think this price of Bitcoin is going to moon shortly after, or even a couple months after, you're on crack, because it's gonna it's absolutely gonna be insane. So just be mindful. We have about 30 days left. You're gonna see pullbacks, you're gonna see sell-offs. Buy the rumor, sell the news. You're gonna see it, might happen, but don't sleep on it. If it falls, I'm buying. Every single time it falls, I'm buying. Just put in limit orders and hopefully you get wicked down. That's my opinion, not financial advice. You guys do what you will. Mr. Crypto KJ, member for 10 months. Perfect. Explain like you're 5. Gram is the Telegram coin on Ton Network. Oh, you said Telegram. I'm already out. Like tokens are hosted on the ETH network. Gram is hosted on Ton. I got you. Telegram, place for scams. Just saying. All right, let's see if there's anything on Cointelegraph. Getting into the news segment of things. Let's see. Bitcoin trader says sub 50k BTC price would help sustain bull market. And you know what? I don't disagree. You guys think we're gonna get down to 57k? I think it might happen. Down into the 50s for a little bit and then rocket back past the all-time highs. History of crypto. Bitcoin. Satoshi Nakamoto's response to the global financial crisis. I actually read this a little bit. I'm not going to read it today. I do have a link in the description below if you guys are interested. This is pretty good. It's pretty good. It gives you kind of a rundown, especially if you're a noob and you don't know the story. It's pretty neat to listen to. All right, you guys know Bitcoin is actually trading at 64,493 bucks, but this video was from about 19 hours ago or so. But they talk about the Bitcoin halving and I thought it was important to watch, so let's get into this. Bitcoin halving is typically followed by an 18-month rally, analysis says. So let's see what they got to say over here on Yahoo Finance. Guys, the like button, appreciate you for hanging out. Let's do it.
All right, Bitcoin rebounding on the back of the Fed decision this week, now trading back above 67,000. Now, the cryptocurrency has certainly been on a wild ride, to say the least, since the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs earlier this year. And it's also taken many other crypto-related stocks along for the ride. But as Bitcoin halving comes into view, could the crypto landscape be set for a new state of mind? We want to bring in Mark Palmer. He is Benchmark Senior Research Analyst. Mark, it's great to have you here. So we certainly have seen the seesaw action play out over the last several weeks. Not necessarily anything new when we're talking about the price of Bitcoin, but as we look ahead to the halving, what do you think the pricing activity is going to look like?
Yes, well, thanks for having me. Good to talk to you. What we are seeing right now is not unusual if you take a step back and look at the history of the halving as an event. What we saw in 2 previous halvings, which occurred in 2016 and 2020, is that there were significant retracements in price ahead of that event. In 2016, it was close to 40%. In 2020, it was more around 20%, which is essentially what we've seen in the 2024 cycle. You know, what's going on here? I think it's a couple of things. One is the uncertainty ahead of the halving. When, for those who don't know, the Bitcoin halving is when the rewards that are paid to miners for each block that they mine are cut in half. So the profitability of the miners is cut in half, and hence a lot of miners tend to leave the market. It's almost like a wildfire that cleans out the Bitcoin mining space. That means that the amount of computational power or hash rate associated with Bitcoin mining goes down around the world. You end up seeing a lot of volatility around that event. But again, what's important from our perspective is what has happened historically after the halving. In 2016, we saw that volatility ahead of the halving. Then the price of Bitcoin went up 6x. In 2016, it was 17x actually. In 2020, it was 6x. The point being that we typically see an extended rally after the halving that goes on for something around 18 months.
Mark, to what extent does the ETFs and the inflows that we've seen, and now more recently, I guess some of the outflows from ETFs in recent days here, that event and that introduction into the market in itself, what does that introduce in terms of some of the perhaps atypical activity that might take place, given that Bitcoin is hitting all-time highs before the halving, and then you've got the ETFs, both of those things not happening before?
Yeah, that's a really good point, because the halving itself is a supply shock. The supply of new Bitcoin introduced into the market declines each time that we have a halving. What we are seeing this go round is also a demand shock with the introduction of 10 spot Bitcoin ETFs, all of the inflows that are associated with that. Why is that different? Because Bitcoin from its beginnings has been a retail instrument. It's the rare asset class where retail has led, institutions have really lagged behind. Now we're positioned to see more of a catch up on the institutional front. We're certainly seeing that in terms of the uptick. And yes, it is extending into the stocks that are associated with Bitcoin. A couple of the ones that we cover, MicroStrategy and BitDeer, which is one of the Bitcoin miners. We've seen significant pickup in both of those, which in some cases, MicroStrategy, is reflected in a premium to the underlying holdings of Bitcoin that it has. So we're going to see some volatility around all of this as we head into what is really a colossal event for the space.
Mark, while we are talking about it here, you mentioned MicroStrategy, and I'm curious because MicroStrategy's CEO, Chairman, I believe, Michael Saylor, was on Yahoo Finance last week. He was talking to Julie Hyman, and she was asking him just about the end game here for MicroStrategy as the company continues to buy more and more Bitcoin. I'm curious how you're evaluating that as an analyst. So not so much the short-term story here for MicroStrategy, but what you think that long-term reaction and pricing action could look like.
Yeah, you aren't going to find a stock that is going to be as correlated to the price of Bitcoin as MicroStrategy is. As I mentioned, the stock is, and it has in the past, been trading at a premium to the company's underlying Bitcoin holdings. I think what you see now is an opportunity for MicroStrategy to extend its reach beyond just holding Bitcoin, which is and will continue to be its core. But the management team and Michael Saylor, the executive chairman, have said that they really want to be a Bitcoin development company. People forget that Bitcoin is not just a cryptocurrency, it's also an underlying blockchain, and that there is significant building that is going on that blockchain. That is something that MicroStrategy is looking to get into, leveraging what had been the core of MicroStrategy from its founding over 30 years ago, which is its enterprise software business. So there's more to MicroStrategy than simply acquiring Bitcoin. That is the core of what the company is. It's the core of our valuation, and we do believe that MicroStrategy is very well positioned. We are assuming that the price of Bitcoin reaches 125,000 by the end of 2025. MicroStrategy will be among the beneficiaries of that upsurge.
And Mark, we got to go. Is MicroStrategy the company right now that is best positioned in terms of the managed blockchain solutions that are anticipated to be introduced to the market here?
It's actually newer to the game as it pertains to those. There are a lot of private companies that are developing or have been developing solutions, particularly on the infrastructure front.
Yeah.
But what's exciting is the fact that MicroStrategy clearly has the expertise. They have the network. They have the ability to add this component of their business.
Right.
And I think that that's going to be important in the longer term.
Mark Palmer.
And they are competing with BlackRock as of right now to who holds more crypto. Do you guys know if they surpassed each other yet? If BlackRock surpassed MicroStrategy again? I know as soon as they did, Michael Saylor was like, nope, and he doubled down on Bitcoin when it was at its all-time high. Like he always does. He'll be buying the top forever. Anyways, Crypto World, CNBC Television, Bitcoin rebounds 67,000. As you guys know, it's trading at 64,570 as of right now. But nonetheless, let's get into this. We have rebounds 67,000 as Fed leaves rate cuts in 2024 roadmap. Let's see what they got to say over here, guys. That like button. Appreciate you for hanging out. Let's do it.
Today, Bitcoin rebounds after the Fed signaled rate cuts are on the horizon. BlackRock jumps into the asset tokenization race, creating a new fund on the Ethereum network. And the CEO of LMAX Group breaks down how Bitcoin ETFs are shaping institutional demand for crypto.
Real quick, my man, Automatic Beats. I'm not gonna sing, but I still got the cake. I don't have a lighter. I could light it. Happy birthday, buddy. Happy birthday, you old bastard. Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for being here on your birthday. Let's do it.
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Mackenzie Sigalos. Bitcoin briefly bouncing back above $67,000 this morning after the Fed signaled that rate cuts are still on this year's roadmap. However, as of noon Eastern, the cryptocurrency dropped back down below that level, trading just above $66,500. That's still a 4.5% gain since yesterday. Ether rose more than 6% to nearly $3,500, and Solana soared to $185.
Crazy. Solana was at like 200 at some point when I was gone down to Terra Hosting.
Okay, let's talk about the top stories. The world.
I just remember being like, damn, I knew I should have just got some more. I never did, but it's having a pullback now, so I might grab some more today.
The largest asset manager, Blackrock, has jumped into the asset tokenization race with a new fund on the Ethereum network. Now, Blackrock announced its first tokenized fund yesterday, dubbed the Blackrock USD Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund.
Oh, shit.
The asset manager also announced a strategic investment in Securitize, a big player in real-world asset tokenization. This new fund aims to provide qualified investors with the opportunity to earn US dollar yields by subscribing to the fund through Securitize.
That's crazy. BlackRock is like, they're just going to be the leading giant in this entire thing. It's crazy. And I'm excited to see where things go, but at the same time, the regulation it's going to bring to crypto is kind of like the opposite of what it's supposed to do. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, to be honest.
BlackRock's head of digital assets said that the move is the latest progression of its digital asset strategy. I also spoke to Fireblock CEO Michael Shalov about BlackRock's tokenization bet and what it means for Wall Street's push into tokenization. Here's what he told me.
I think that there is definitely a lot of appetite right now in across the financial industry in terms of tokenizing a variety of different instruments. We've seen already issuance of bonds on the blockchain. We've seen issuance of other funds, both KKR and other folks have done it in the last 12 months, and definitely like the direction of travel is to bring a lot of the traditional assets into the public blockchains and increase both the distribution and the liquidity for those assets.
You can check out that full interview over at CNBC.com. Next, ahead of Sam Bankman-Fried's scheduled sentencing next week, FTX CEO John Ray told the judge that creditors would never be fully recovered, even in a best-case scenario. In a victim impact statement filed yesterday, Ray denied SBF's claims that investor funds aren't lost and called the estate a, quote, metaphorical dumpster fire.
Oh, that's great. That's hysterical. Did you guys hear that shit yesterday, that he was like trying to say that everybody's funds will be recovered during the bankruptcy, so there really was no lost funds, so he's trying to get out of jail in like 20 years instead of 50 or 100 or whatever the hell he was sentenced to, which is just completely absurd. Like, this guy is literally off in left field. Like, there's no chance you're getting out of that. That's ridiculous.
He went on to say that his bankruptcy team has been digging through every possible dollar, token, or other asset that was spent on luxury homes, private jets, overpriced speculative ventures, and otherwise lost to the four winds.
Come on, man. It was just a write-off. I needed that private jet in that expensive Bahamas house.
Earlier this week, while fending off a proposed 50-year prison sentence, SBF's lawyers argued that there were no losses for customers because the bankruptcy process would make them whole with interest.
There it is. There it is. Did you hear that? So she read it again. They read this yesterday.
There were no losses for customers because the bankruptcy process would make them whole with interest. Despite recent
The f is going on here? That's crazy to even say. What a douchebag.
Appreciation in crypto markets,
That's
Ray
messed up.
included in the statement that creditors would likely not benefit from the recent price actions in the cryptocurrency market. He pointed
You know, he just doesn't want his booty hole to get stretched out in jail. He's probably already had a bad time.
out that there were only 105 Bitcoin left on the FTX exchange in contrast to the nearly 100,000 that should have been there. Last, an appeals court in Montenegro confirmed that Do Kwon will be handed over to his home country of South Korea. According to the Associated Press, the court approved an earlier ruling by the High Court to extradite the Terraform Labs co-founder to South Korea rather than the U.S. Do Kwon has no other chance to appeal, which means that he won't be present for his trial in the U.S., scheduled to begin next week. That trial is over civil fraud charges brought by the SEC, but Do Kwon also faces federal criminal charges from the Department of Justice in connection with the collapse of Terra Luna. All right, for our main story, yesterday crypto world.
Man, these bad actors in the space just give it like such a shitty name. But can you guys think, like, just think about where Bitcoin was when that whole thing happened. Bitcoin went down to like 15,000 bucks, and it's now over 64,000 as of right now. We hit a new all-time high before the halving, which has never happened. But this, like, FTX, all that shit was like a year ago. It wasn't even that long ago, and it's crazy how fast this market's rebounded.
Talia Kaplan sat down with David Mercer, CEO of global crypto trading operator LMAX Group. He weighs in on where institutional appetite for digital assets stands, as developments like Bitcoin ETFs provide more incentive than ever to jump into the crypto market.
Bitcoin has been reaching fresh highs for 2 weeks, reaching a peak of more than $73,600. And then starting last week, Bitcoin started to drop. So I'm wondering, what do you think is behind this sell-off, and how much of it is attributed to profit taking and the heavy outflows from the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust?
I think it's important to look at the big picture. And Bitcoin's up 47% year to date. Put that in perspective, the S&P is up 7.5%. Ethereum, which doesn't have the ETF bump, is up 37.5% today. So I think these
big deal
outflows, or the decrease in price, which is pretty well telegraphed, are more to do with the macro environment rather than anything specific to Bitcoin or the ETF right now. I mean, this has been a staggered step down from 73 into the sort of mid 60s. I think it's normal retracement, but nothing significant. And I fully expect that the price increase will continue to go from here.
So you think Bitcoin will continue to rise? Do you think we'll see more fresh highs? And if so, what are the factors that will contribute to that?
So I think for Bitcoin alone, that's inevitable. If you look at, this is very early stages for the institutionalization of the asset class. And I think it's important we look at it as an asset class rather than just this one product, which is the Bitcoin ETF. So unlike 2021, you're seeing this rise driven by institutions and true supply and demand. Remember, right now, today, before May 20th, only 900 Bitcoin are mined freshly every single day. That's roughly $60–70 million. You're seeing inflows into the ETF up to $1 billion a day. So purely on a supply and demand basis, you should see this price rally. Now, we're not necessarily Bitcoin or crypto evangelists, but I think on that basis, when you see the likes of, BlackRock entering the space and allocating parts of their portfolio to crypto, you can only see the price going up. There's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin out there. So if 3% of the world's assets go to crypto, that would be a $6 trillion asset class. Today, it's worth $2.5 trillion. So, yeah.
There you go. At least a 3x coming into the market, even if 3% goes in. That's crazy.
You should expect most crypto prices to go north from here. And I think, obviously Ethereum and Solana will follow.
Now, I want to point to something you said earlier this week. You believe the market will not be permanently augmented by the spot Bitcoin ETFs, and that the real money capital must come into the space to support and strengthen the market. How do you think that can be achieved?
I think what you're seeing with the ETF is just one signpost in what I believe is the fourth or fifth industrial revolution. So, greater minds than me have talked about the tokenization of capital markets. This is the first step. Crypto is just the proof of concept. You're going to see tokenization of a lot of TradFi assets. So the steps you talk about were, one, institutions really buying the asset class or accepting for the first time in history that they're storing digital assets or digital property. That's never happened before. Now, whether that token or that digitization is Bitcoin or an S&P stock share, it's kind of irrelevant. The predictions that we have from all the research houses out there is that the tokenized economy is going to be $20 trillion by 2030.
$20 trillion.
Even that's not so much. That's 10% of all the TradFi assets that exist today. So
wow.
I think for me, it's just a signpost to the future and the future of capital markets that we'll be lucky enough to live through and enjoy.
Now, I want to mention the upcoming key technical events, the Bitcoin Halving, which is expected to take place April 19th. And typically, in the run-up to those events, Bitcoin's price increases. So do you think that's playing into what's happening with Bitcoin right now?
Not so much. I think it's priced in. I mean, the evangelists out there will tell you, 2012, 2016, 2020, the halving, and preempted a bull run. I think that's priced in now, if I'm honest. But undoubtedly, there'll be a change, and miners already are trying to become more efficient.
Did you say the halving was priced in? Did you say that? Not a chance.
But I think for now, on this occasion, with the weight of money that's coming in, it might be less of an effect than you've seen previously. I think that...
Well, because the only way it would be less of an effect is because the price point, right? The price point's like, it's harder to go to a 2 or a 3x from 60K than it was from 20K. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot more money it takes to get to that point. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and then the psychological $100,000, yeah, that's gonna be a problem, right? But I mean, if we break through it easily, it's gonna blast through it.
The thing that drives most of this is actually the credibility lent to the market by large institutions, household institutions, finally owning and offering this asset class.
Now, earlier this week, a Standard Chartered analyst raised his year-end forecast for the price of Bitcoin to $150,000 from $100,000. Do you think that's a realistic price target?
Mr. Tom Lee said that, 150,000. You know what? I'll take Tom Lee's opinion over any of these mofos on the news. Just saying.
He's a braver man than me. What I would say is, based purely on supply and demand, we've never seen the likes of this before. If you go to that portfolio approach, 3%, 5% of people's portfolios or the assets in the world being allocated to Bitcoin, then you should see the price of Bitcoin alone being multiples of what it is today.
So he's being really broad about it. He's kind of like beating around the bush, right? The fact that there's so many financial institutions that aren't very big, like mom and pop shops, like New York Life, like normal everyday like IRA stuff, is getting just the wind of this whole Bitcoin ETF assets, right? I'm sure they already know about it, but once they start actually allocating people's funds into it, do you know how much money that's going to bring into these markets?
Not in the business of predicting. Typically at LMAX Group, we match buyers and sellers. But I do think in a longer time horizon, 5 years, 10 years, then certainly this will be trading in 6 digits rather than 5 digits as it is today.
It certainly will be interesting to see if that forecast comes to fruition. But as you touched on, billions of dollars have poured into spot Bitcoin ETFs since launching in January, and that's including the heavy outflows from the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Now, LMAX Digital, your institutional crypto exchange, facilitates trades for about 10% of the spot Bitcoin market and processes roughly $2.5 billion of trades daily for institutional clients. So I'm curious to get your take on how these recent developments, like the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs here in the US, how that plays into institutional appetite for crypto right now.
So I think if you look at all the institutions we cover, so within the group, we trade with 35 of the world's top 40 banks. All the major proprietary trading firms in the world, over 200 brokers. Now, the group that were excluded historically have been the banks. They could trade the future, but they couldn't trade the physical. What you're seeing now is the underlying for these ETFs is the physical. So whilst we're not an ETF provider, right, the ETFs have to buy those assets, being Bitcoin. So we're the recipient of that. So I think overall, this democratizes the asset class for everyone. It opens up market access from retail all the way up to institutional. It means that even the high net worth desks, the private wealth desks in banks can now offer product which gives you direct exposure to the asset class. For us, at LMX Digital, that's just the start. I think over time, as all the institutions become more comfortable with the behavior of the asset class, you're going to see people getting closer to the asset itself and owning the core asset, which is Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana.
Pretty awesome. Well, shout out to that guy. And I understand to a point his like broadness of the answer, right, to the question. Yeah, people don't like to be put in that light and look stupid and be wrong and all that stuff. And I totally didn't get the video I wanted to get up, so give me 1 second. Let me put this in the bar here. Mr. Lark Davis actually had a decent video, and I don't know what happened to that tab, but it disappeared. So without further ado, let's get into it. See what Mr. Lark has to say over here. Bitcoin billionaires leaked report. Moving on to the videos of the day. Again, updating myself, bringing you guys along for the ride. Let's do it.
A new report has emerged, one that paints a very clear picture concerning the future of crypto. You're going to want to listen up because it's telling a story of what we can expect in the coming year and how important it is to be paying attention to the crypto markets right now. Hot off the desk of one of the largest and most influential venture capital firms in crypto, a multi-billion-dollar fund that has had their name on some of the biggest damn deals in the crypto space. So today, we are going to be looking at the Pantera Capital's aptly named Absence of Bad Things report.
Oh boy.
Sounds pretty ominous, guys. Containing more than just excuses for what held revenue back in the last cycle. This report actually outlines what the biggest crypto billionaires really think about the current market cycle.
Interesting.
You're going to want to hear this. As always,
yeah, I want to hear it. Hurry up.
Money, because it will lead you to the truth.
Get to it.
So let's dig in. First off, just who the heck is Pantera anyway? It's not the cool rock band from back in the day. It's important to know who they are before you realize what they have to say is actually worth listening to. So let me give you a quick rundown. Pantera became one of the first U.S. institutional asset managers in the Web3 space before it was called Web3 back in the day, a decade ago in the
Has anybody heard of Pantera Capital? I believe I've heard of this. I don't know much about them, but
blockchain world.
Get into it.
Since then, Pantera has backed over 100 different blockchain companies and participated in more than 110 early stage token deals. Projects like 1inch, Alchemy, Arbitrum, Backed, Balancer, Brave, Circle, Cosmos, Coinbase, Filecoin, Guildfi, Injective, Kyber Network, MarginFi, Near, Oasis Labs, Polkadot, Ripple, Shapeshift, etc., etc., etc. You probably recognize a few of those names. They've been in it. You can check out their current portfolio anytime over on coinmarketcap.com or on their website. Now, Pantera took a massive 80% loss in 2022 during the collapse of FTX. Hit a lot of people hard. But by the end of the year, man, it's like they just got right back up, back to raising billions of dollars. You've probably heard something about someone out there wanting to buy the FTX Estates Solana tokens. Yeah, that's Pantera. They're the guys looking to fork out $250 million for that. So when an influential firm like this, with so much riding on crypto, releases their their blueprint for the next year, you kind of want to at least pay a little bit of attention to it. So Pantera begins by pointing out the absence of evil in the current market. Compared to 2022, obviously the worst is long over. Financial analysts cited that even if you go back 250 years, you really can't find a worse year than 2022. It was a bad one. 2022 was
Yeah.
the worst year, of course, for the classic 60-40 stock bond portfolio since the Great Depression. It was crazy times. IPO proceeds raised were down 95%, and the available number of deals went down by 85% from the previous year as a result of the crypto markets falling 70%. Yeah, I think we all felt that one pretty intensely. Reviewing some of the most catastrophic events in crypto, from Mt. Gox to Silicon Valley Bank, nothing has been able to take Bitcoin down. The crypto market.
And that's what I was saying. Like, we were watching CNBC. They were talking about Sam Bankman-Fried and his freaking, you know, his giant Ponzi scheme that he had going on, or whatever it was within FTX. The fact that literally that was all like a year and a half ago, not even. Do you know what I mean? And we're doing ridiculously well. We broke an all-time high before the halving. Never happened before, ever. Like, this is the first time. Completely uncharted territory. We got Bitcoin ETFs now. Ethereum ETFs are in the works. Like, things are going in a crazy direction. So don't sleep on it.
Let's just keep pushing forward, man. Oh, but these greedy a-holes sure keep on trying, don't they? And I'm sure they will. There'll always be new leverage to unwind in the market. Anyway, there you go. A new unwritten rule for Bitcoin: resistance to greedy a-holes. Anyway, Pantera goes on to say that with the new regulatory framework brought on by the Bitcoin ETF, much of the uncertainty actually surrounding regulatory approval of blockchains in the past is no longer present. They cite how high-profile cases with Ripple's native token XRP ruled as not a security, and Grayscale's big win in their lawsuit against the SEC regarding their Bitcoin ETF application has helped to accelerate institutional adoption, with the Bitcoin halving now less than a month away. Blockchain's dial-up to broadband moment is finally arriving. And that, with all of Pantera's experience accumulated from the previous cycles, they think that we are now at the beginning of the fourth big cycle. And that with stocks back at record highs, they can invest in private markets again. And they think the next 18 to 24 months are probably going to be a strong bull market for crypto, especially for Bitcoin, the most neglected asset of our generation. It's not a hard truth to find that Bitcoin is kind of the most neglected asset in the world. Obviously, it's changing every day. But before we talk about that, it is shame. Visa has 250% more daily trading volume than Apple, has 20% less annual.
All right, let me scroll back a little bit. He was showing his newsletter.
So with all that said, Bitcoin, 60% larger than Visa, has 250% more daily trading volume than Apple, has 20% less annualized volatility than Tesla, and could be considered one of the 6th largest countries in the world, with a population of more than 220 million, of course, on-chain users and wallets. And it was ignored and was exiled from the world's leading financial institutions for 10 years. It was a pariah. Would an ETF satisfy you? And the answer is no. The ETF was only meant to be a jumping off point, not the finish line. Calling Bitcoin a digital Fort Knox, the report goes on to point out that if Wall Street's financial system won't build for Bitcoin, then Bitcoin will have to build a financial system for itself, where we see large populations like Latin America, Africa, Asia, billions of people, ideal places for global distribution of blockchain technology, of Bitcoin technology. How Bitcoin's popularity will grow into wanting more than just moving and storing our Bitcoin. Very interesting. But while Bitcoin is neglected as an asset, it's even more neglected as a technology. How Bitcoin...
That's true. Because blockchain technology is it's one of those things that, since its inception, the Bitcoin ledger has never had an incorrect depository. Is that how you'd state it? I guess. But there's never been any type of hiccup on their network. So yeah, it is definitely undervalued in that aspect. But Bitcoin's more of a store of value, right? When it comes to the other coin that he was, the other countries like Africa and places like that, do you really think they're going to be transacting in Bitcoin? I doubt it. There's got to be another coin out there. What coin do you guys think it's going to be? Throw it in the chat and let me know.
Bitcoin's blessings are also its curse. So look,
Even if it's a new coin, I just want your speculation in the chat. What do you think is going to be the next peer-to-peer, like, actual coin that we'll use, right? I know Litecoin. That's pretty much probably everybody's go-to, but if it's different, throw it in the chat. If it's Litecoin, throw Litecoin.
resistance to change. This is a big thing for Bitcoin. It makes upgrading the network difficult. Its simple design makes it incompatible with the current financial market. And while the network has 100% uptime, completing a single transaction takes 10 minutes. But with technology, Taproot, Ordinals, BRC20 tokens being introduced, we've already reached the point of wanting more options for Bitcoin, and more options are now available. As the fees market for Bitcoin already shows, Bitcoin average fees per transaction rose by 20x in 2023, driven by ordinal inscriptions. With more layer 2 adoption, ETF approval, and of course, just a general mistrust, well-founded by the way, in centralized institutions from the previous cycle. Analysts are saying the Bitcoin has the potential to be a $500 billion opportunity. That if DeFi reaches Ethereum's proportions on Bitcoin, we could expect the total value of DeFi applications on the Bitcoin network to be worth $225 billion, or 25% of Bitcoin currently. So how? Well, over time, it could range between 72 billion and 450 billion, 8 and 50% based on current numbers here, assuming no changes in Bitcoin's current market cap, which obviously is going to go up. So that's to be considered. We have all these great experiments, of course, coming that are bringing this stuff: Stacks, the Lightning Network, Optimistic Rollups, ZK Rollups, Sovereign Rollups, discrete log contracts, a lot of new protocols launching on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's age of neglect may finally be coming to an end in this regard. Developers are paying attention. People are paying attention. Bitcoin, of course, will always be considered as digital gold, and many would still consider that as primary value proposition is to be digital gold. But the idea of extending Bitcoin beyond being just a store of value is gaining traction in certain communities. And
that's the biggest point here. The gaining traction of Bitcoin and being a use case, right? It's going to just increase over the lifespan of Bitcoin in itself. I mean, a lot of people, some people might spend it or sell it or, just take profits on it, but a lot of people are going to be holding it and having to use something else. So it's going to be interesting to see where things go.
That can no longer be neglected, and good long term is probably good for security because it feeds the miners. It's all illustrated, of course, by the effectiveness of Ordinal's activity on Bitcoin. And with this comes new and exciting opportunities. People love exciting opportunities. Get them excited about Bitcoin again. Now let's talk about opportunity. With increased interest in a novel way to use Bitcoin, Pantera has pointed out that Bitcoin as a settlement layer, of course, has enormous value creation potential, even if just a fraction of the $850 billion plus capital base is deployed as liquidity in decentralized finance applications. Of course, now it's over $1 trillion with the current price rally. A conversation we need to have tier 2 is about the future of Bitcoin as both money and as a technology. You see, a big factor playing into this opportunity for Bitcoin is that after the collapse of the FTX exchange, obviously trust and centralized exchanges took a major hit, very well foundedly, of course. The industry still faces some of the negative reverberations from that even today. But traders have moved to decentralized trading venues at an increasing rate because the user experience has never been better. And this is a place where asset custody is more secure and order books are actually more transparent, thus bringing decentralized perpetual markets and other financial instruments that are maybe not previously available on Bitcoin to be now available. So you match these new opportunities beyond just, again, a simple store value, buy and hold your Bitcoin, never do anything with it. You have the Bitcoin halving coming up too, and all these catalysts, right? You have the perfect storm, the perfect moment of catalysts coming together for a Bitcoin bull run. More importantly, Bitcoin's adoption as a serious global asset is definitely happening. We have the halving coming in a month. Efficient market theory would hold that if we all know it's going to happen, then of course it has been priced in already. But paraphrasing a line attributed to Warren Buffett on the dogma that the markets are almost always efficient, But the difference between almost and always is $80 billion to me. Oh man, Warren, huh? So anyway, that even if we think everybody knows something, it doesn't mean that there isn't a ton of money to be made. So while cutting the amount of supply in half will naturally cause the price to go up, because if demand stays the same and there's just not enough supply being put into the market, that's what's going to happen. Pantera notes that its forecast made after last halving has already been exceeded by 60%, moving their previous analysis of a $35,000 Bitcoin closer to $150,000 Bitcoin.
Look at that.
But if you want my opinion on all of this, Pantera needs to up those numbers. Not bullish enough, guys. You're not being bullish enough. Come on, 150K. Of course, that was my initial sort of conservative estimate as well, or around that area. But it does make sense as a conservative estimate. The bull case for this cycle, though, could be much higher, although those can be dangerous thoughts when you start thinking it's going to go to 500K or something, and then it doesn't.
I'm glad he said that, because they are dangerous thoughts. And people sit there and say it's going to go to $500,000 a coin, $250,000 a coin. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. But like, people say that shit when like things are running and the big guys never allow it to get there, because all the Timmies are getting in thinking, hey, it's going to go up to $250,000 a coin and I'm going to wait for that. And then guess what? They dump it on you and you hold it all the way down and you freak out and you sell for a loss. You lose money and they buy it up. They buy up all your Bitcoin. So if you get yourself caught in that emotional roller coaster where you hold your crypto because you thought it was going to go higher, please don't sell it for a loss unless you're in like a real bad pinch. Obviously, you shouldn't be investing more than you can afford to lose, but just hold it. Just hold it. Like literally almost 100% of the time it comes back. I lied. 100% of the time it comes back. And you'll end up at least being able to break even. Okay? I mean, the track record has proven it, right? So not financial advice, but just don't sell for a loss. That's the stupidest thing you could do.
So be careful about that. Still, though, 150K conservative estimate, I'm here for that. You're probably here for that too. Seems like a good number, doesn't it? But don't get too caught up on price predictions. They're fun, but they're not predictive at the end of the day. We don't actually know where the price of Bitcoin is going to go. But what is important, what we can pay attention to, what does really matter long term for Bitcoin, is everything we've just talked about. The rising layer 2 scene, the BRC20s and the ordinals, and the asset demand from Wall Street and on, and global adoption, all these important things happening. That long term is what will drive real value in this market.
Thanks. All right, shout out to Lark Davis. Guys, go check out his channel if you're interested. All right, let's get into this. Mr. Altcoin Daily, Blackrock's top 5 crypto altcoins to buy now. I'm not sure we're actually going to see top 5, but I know Ethereum is definitely one of them if that's an altcoin. Let me know what you guys think about that. All right, let's do it. Hit that like button, please. 90 likes, 215 people here. I hate asking what YouTube makes me.
And we believe it's so important to be anticipating the next move.
BlackRock launches their first tokenized fund, Buildle, on the Ethereum network.
We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets.
And he wants to tokenize everybody. That's kind of scary, actually.
Actually happening, the tokenization of real-world assets.
And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP.
A multi-trillion-dollar opportunity.
It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification.
There it is. There it is. You just said it. You and I will have our own number identification, which will be tokenized on a ledger somewhere, and it'll just be simple to trace you. It's kind of scary. It's like a double-edged sword. Again, it's awesome. Crypto adoption is great, but tokenization could get fucking hairy, let's just say the least.
And with Ethereum as the chosen network and a spot Ethereum ETF on the way, based on who BlackRock is working with, which altcoins are next, and what's next for Bitcoin.
And you know what's interesting about it, actually? The whole WorldCoin thing, scanning your iris or whatever in your eyeball and like get paid out in WorldCoin or whatever the case would be. I don't even know if they're still doing that. I think they are. But when that started, everyone's freaking out. But like, that's kind of what BlackRock's thinking. It's not scanning your eyes. It's probably tokenizing your social security number and your ID and all this other shit all into one thing, which is kind of, yeah, it's going to be scary. The other thing's going to be NFTs when it comes to, an actual use case like medical records, you deed to your house, title to your car, shit like that can't get lost. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna get real hairy.
The reality is, if you told me a year ago that we were going to have a correction down to 63,000, I would have been ecstatic. That would have been a fantastic price for us.
And that's a great point, actually. Down to 63,000. That's a crazy amount of money.
Yes, the ETFs have had a big impact on the price appreciation.
Of course they have.
Twofold. The first one is the fact, of course, that if you make something easier to buy, there will be more demand, and more demand than supply means prices go up. But the most important point here is actually what the ETF for Bitcoin being approved meant. It actually means that regulators can't stand in the way of legitimate products and financial products forever. So what we're going to see and what the market is actually counting on is definitely a set of new crypto products that will come to market soon. Ethereum ETFs, Solana ETFs, many of these other crypto products that I'm sure are coming to market. So it's really this starting gun.
And which
crazy. Real quick, in the chat, Miss Randy Hipper herself says they are connected to Amazon. Both China and Amazon do palm scans. Actually, I've seen that. Have you guys seen that, with a girl like goes into a store and she like puts her hand over this thing and it just scans her hand and she pays for her shit? It's crazy. It's crazy. It was on Twitter somewhere. I forget where it was, but I seen it.
Altcoins are next, because as BlackRock describes this new venture, through the tokenization of the fund, BUIDL will offer investors important benefits by enabling the issuance and trading of ownership on a blockchain, expanding investors' access to on-chain offerings, providing instantaneous and transparent settlement, and allowing for transfers across platforms. The Bank of New York Mellon will enable interoperability for the fund between digital and traditional markets.
Damn, that's kind of big. All right, let me see, actually. I think I found it. Oh, boy. I don't know what this is, though. I don't want this music. Oh, God, what is happening?
Think bringing that POM-based payment system you know and love from Whole Foods to... That's right. Amazon is bringing that POM-based payment system you know and love from Whole...
There's like, bing, and they just friggin', all right, that's it. Like, what?
So BNY Mellon is obviously the traditional infrastructure needed. But according to BlackRock's head of digital assets, he says, we are excited to work with Securitize. Securitize is proud to be BlackRock's transfer agent, tokenization platform, and placement agent of choice in digitizing and expanding access to its investment products. And no other channel is sharing with you this alpha. I will. Make sure you click subscribe to stay up to date on crypto. But 2 years ago, Securitize is proud to partner with Bridge Tower Capital, Chainlink, and Avalanche blockchain in expanding institutional access to DeFi and permissioned markets. So literally, the company that BlackRock is using as a transfer agent is already integrated with Chainlink and Avalanche, and with Swift already using them, and with Chainlink's CCIP already heavily requested.
Chainlink CCIP is the only level 5 security cross-chain protocol. With our growing ecosystem, each protocol has a different preference, and Chainlink CCIP is one of the standard that have been requested quite a bit. So we're excited to be one of the first to really work and integrate this into our bridging solution. I think the blockchain space is not just isolated in different networks now. It's actually a big interconnected network, and Chainlink CCIP is bringing the security, the interoperability, and peace of mind for builders and users as well.
Solana, another key player.
The highest demand anyone has ever seen in blockchain, right? Solana is processing more daily transactions than all other L1s and L2s combined when you look at that sort of space today. And that is really a testament to the engineering work that was done throughout the last 2 years to get Solana into this state.
Actually, BlackRock is building on ETH, JP Morgan's Onyx is building on Avalanche, and MasterCard is building on Solana, although they are very much all in bed with each other.
But Solana is nowhere near finished as a code base. There are major new features that are being rolled out. There's a lot of improvements being made to improve the experience. And from a reliability standpoint, one of those major investments is a project called FireDancer, which is a new validator client for the Solana network, which will help increase both decentralization and resiliency to downtime in the future.
And speaking of Solana, multi-chain gaming token Wolfie expands to Solana via airdrop. So we know that Solana ecosystem tokens in general have been popping off this year. And while investing in crypto in any capacity can always be risky, especially with lower cap tokens, An airdrop is something we can all take advantage of. Thank you, Wolfie, for sponsoring this.
No. Chill. 100% chill. 1000% chill. Okay, let's move on. There we go.
March 28th.
Hello, everybody. I am incredibly excited.
And maybe if BlackRock is interested in the future of artificial intelligence on-chain.
The first demonstration of quite a sophisticated AI running on blockchain.
ICP may be on the radar.
That blockchain, of course, is the internet computer. The only blockchain in the world today that can run compute at scale.
A world's first, a demonstration of AI running on blockchain as a smart contract.
There's a lot of talk about, blockchains for AI, tokens for AI, and things like that. This is the real deal.
Now, this is about 90 seconds long. Let's watch the full clip.
So today, I'm going to demonstrate image classification, which involves a neural network running inside a smart contract. In fact, that neural network has been compiled to WebAssembly, which is what, runs on the internet computer. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. So this web page you see here is being created by Canister Smart Contract with the AI in sight. So I click this logo and it's going to ask me to select an image file to classify. So the first one's a tiger. Let's see how it does. Now, be warned, this is going to take about 10 seconds. Currently, it's processing about 20 billion WASM instructions to classify the image, but that's going to come down very dramatically in the future. Well, there we go. It's correctly classified this file as depicting a tiger. This one's a bit more complicated. It's like an espresso cup on a pair of jeans. Let's go. So,
a pair of jeans. Am I fucking slow, or is that a napkin? That looks like a little cloth.
Enhancements in the near future include support for something called simmed instructions, which is going to dramatically
looks like the color of jeans.
Okay, this is actually very impressive. It's correctly identified that it's an espresso, that there's a coffee mug, and that it's sitting on a pair of jeans.
All right, I don't care, to be honest. That's awesome anyways. All right, let's recap things, guys. I'm looking for Miss Randy Hipper. I was looking through her video. That's why I wasn't really paying attention, so I apologize. I'm slow. Shut up, Dan R. Slap you upside your head.
Bruh.
All right, anyways, Bitcoin 64,338 bucks. John Germain, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Yeah, I'm ripping through Miss Teen Crypto's channel over here, and I'm trying to find the video she was showing the hand scan thing. She said it was like 22 minutes in. Miss Teen Crypto, help me out. Which one's it at? Which one is it at? Because I can't. Oh, is that it? Fuck. Did I just have it right there? You went to Twitter for a second. Sorry, I got you muted. That's not it though, right? Let's see, Z. She had like one of the scanning things on, apparently. Let's see. You said 2 days ago, right? I was like scanning through these two and I'm like, I don't see it. Is it further back, maybe? Is it further back? Let's see. All right, let me pull up the chat real quick. Trying to see where that scan thing is. 26 minutes. Yes, the SBF one. SBF one. Guys, if you're not subscribed to Miss Randy Hipper, go check her out. 26 minutes. Okay. That's why I didn't watch it that long. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Ah, okay. Okay. Oh, there we go. Let's see. What am I doing? Let me get this going.
They activated the digital yuan payment options in May of 2021, while WeChat followed in January of 2022. Palm, yeah. So that's right crazy. Oh, let me scroll back a little bit. That's crazy, huh? Look at that. Everybody here. With Alipay.
With Alipay?
Alipay activated the digital yuan payment options in May of 2021.
May of 2021. That's crazy. Again, shout out to Miss Teen Crypto for being awesome, but that's nuts, man. That is absolutely nuts that they have that palm scan thing. I've seen it. I saw it on Twitter. There was some girl and she went to the store and she straight up like just held her hand over it, scanned it, and she was like dumbfounded. Like, I can't believe that just worked. I can't believe that worked. It was insane. I was like totally shocked myself. All right, let's check out Biggest earner on the week while we're wrapping up, just before we get out of here. You guys know I gotta get back to daddy duty, but we have FTM, looks like biggest earner on the week. Phantom over here, 56.1% at $1.19. 50% move, 2x. Nice, good stuff. We have Jupiter. Jupiter is at 29.6% up on the day, $1.18. Not too bad. Sorry, on the day. That's on the week. STX on the week stacks $3.39. Aptos over here, 16.26. We have Sui at $1.80. Actually, is anybody into Sui? Does anybody have this coin? Does anybody hold it? Let me know in the chat, because yeah, I don't know. I've heard about it, a little bit about it. I don't know much about it, but it's interesting to say the least. Caspa up 11.8% on the week to 15 cents. I'm wondering when the next liftoff is going to be. Actually, let's I'm not looking at my trading view because I'm not logged into it right now, but let's just see. Let's just go to the year. Actually, are we building another flag? You guys saw us build this pole and then whatever, right? Are we getting another one right here? We're gonna top out right here around 15 cents today and come back down for another buy-in opportunity. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Let's see, why is not showing because Husat's just a no. So all right, so new coins, Yusuf, will not be in the what's it called, on CoinGecko or anything along those lines, or crypto bubbles. There we go. So it must have been added recently to, let's see, 1 year. Okay, so this came out March 21st, right? So, well, it was actually added yesterday. So CoinGecko was added yesterday, right? But I know this network's been mineable for a couple days at least anyways. But again, new coins like this won't come out, and they won't even have like a number next to them. Typically it tells you what it's tells you what ranking it is somewhere. Does it usually tell you? Let me see. When you click on a coin, yeah, it usually says number right here. So like if you're looking, typically you can go to, they have number of coins, right? Let's see, go by number. So like this is only up to top 100 coins, right? So you can change it to be like top whatever 1,000 coins if you want, right? Let's see, or rows 300. Let's see, pretty sure that brings you to, yeah, 300, right? So you can look through it. But also crypto bubbles over here, this is only 1 through 100, so you can go like 901 through 1,000, and you can see like the big earners. Like this is where you can make a shit ton of money, right? In these coins, like a lot of these coins like DeFi, BS, like Jesus coin is down 42%. I know that's not how you say it, but Neoxa is down 7.1. What in the hell? Get back up there, man. Get back up. I stopped making videos. That's what happened. That's what happened. All my stuff's still on iNodes, by the way. Anyways, look with this one. Jesus. Really? That's the name of the... Wow. Bruh. That's fucked up. That's just... People are so freaking crazy. Anyways. All right. So these are... Yeah, this is like 901 through 1,000. Okay. You can make a lot of money here, but all this stuff, anything past or under the top 100, at least in my opinion, is a risk. But like it's a risk that could be very rewarding, right? So Myro, again, you can see 33% down on the day, but that's in the 201 to 300 range, right? And this is more or less like by market cap. So yeah, that's just how it goes. Dude, there's so many coins out there, it's not even funny. They have like coins that are ranked, 2,000. Let's see what let's go to how's Honey actually? What's Honey ranked at? I think that's doing pretty good. This is ranked 399. Give me a coin. Give me a coin that's listed like way up. How's COQ? This one's 503. Actually, how's this one's probably up there. 246. We have, man, I'm trying to think of like a high coin that I'm into. Maybe Doge isn't even that high. Yeah, it's 227 because the market cap of those meme coins is crazy. RXD. Oh, yeah, actually, that's a good one. RXD. There you go. Thank you. I couldn't think of one. RXD. There we go. Well, that's 991. This was in the 1100s or something the other day, if I'm not mistaken. I think their halving's coming up. Did it already happen, actually? Anybody know? Yeah, Patrick, I did that for you. I don't have any micro though, like you, unfortunately. The taller you are, the smaller it looks. Patrick Murphy's a giant. Sorry, I had to do it. I had to do it. Oh, Steven Cicero, dude, you updated your profile picture, man. What in the hell? What in the hell? I'm just kidding. I don't even know if he's here, but I love you long time. All right, guys, I gotta get out of here. Back to daddy duty, as always. I gotta leave you guys with this. Sorry, almost forgot. Can't leave you on a Friday without listening to the old Bitcoin rap. If you guys haven't hit that like button already, please do so. And I will catch you guys bright and early tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Daily Grind. Until then, peace out. Let's go raid Miss Randy Hipper right after we watch this. Let's do it. Actually, this is going to be muted. Damn it. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Now we're getting it. All right. Let's do it. Let's go watch this, and then we'll raid Miss Randy Hipper. Have a good day, guys. Happy Friday, and peace out. Oh, and that's not going to freaking show the right screen. Damn it. Hold on, veteran miner. Screwed me all up over here. Friggin', I was out with him the other day and my shit's all screwed up now. Hold on. We will find it. Here it is. Done and done. Let's do it. All right. Peace out.
I wanna hold on till I can't no more.
Happy Friday, everybody. Stay frosty. Let's go raid Miss Randy Hipper. Stay put and I'll send you there. Peace, peace. Have a good day.
Eat shit, Gary.